we're celebrating obsessions today. The idea that what we love and are really passionate about can actually bring us a lot of joy. So I hope this hour does that for you. And as we meet those obsessed with everything from taco time to bodybuilding to snacks, you heard that right, snack obsessed. And we are absolutely here for it. And so it begins, one full fun hour of the things we love and adore, and yes, we are obsessed with. We're starting the show with our iconic franchise, Hot Topics, because that seemed like the best way. Oh yes, then there's the music, and each of our guests are obsessed with something, and I don't blame them. Most of us absolutely love Pacific Northwest Taco Time, including me, but PR professional Randy Cote is next level obsessed, co-host of a podcast devoted to the Mexican South fast food franchise, and a Taco Time depth of knowledge that will leave you hungry for those tots and more. Wow. And Seattle Times food and drink writer by day, but a not-so-secret sneakerhead, okay, the rest of the time, Vinh, and producer Susie definitely has an obsession for McDonald's crispy Diet Coke. We'll get to my obsessions later. We have a few in front of me too. Thank you all for being here. And not to, really define obsession, but when do we think that it's more than love? What are our thoughts on this? Do we have a personality trait that makes us obsessed?
It's like, it becomes like a mission, right? Like, it's like, for me, it's like the devotion turns into like a project. Yeah. And that's where it starts getting into obsession. Like, if it's something you're like, calendaring and spreadsheeting and always talking about, I think we're into obsession mode. Do you have a sneaker spreadsheet?
I don't, but what makes it an obsession for me is I'm easily distracted. But as soon as you talk about Air Jordans or a certain topic that someone loves and they don't get distracted as easily, that's an obsession.
You're laser focused on that.
Exactly, yeah.
And I wonder too, when it becomes a problem, is it when our partners or our children start wondering, are we more into our obsession than our
everyday life or family?
Yeah. Does it cross over?
I don't think it's
into a dark
crossing over.
place?
I think we're good.
But probably even if it does, you probably at some point swing right back around to it being a positive, right? Maybe it like unites you in the end or something.
Well, and you had said that now your obsessions, your children are.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we have a 2.5-year-old, and anytime I go to get takeout and come back with a bag of takeout, he says, taco time.
Oh, man.
And also, his first word was taco time.
The time, like, he'll just straight up say, like, can we have taco time, Dada? And I'm like, we're really passing it down. I'm so proud.
See, I would be so proud, too. Yeah. I want to talk about the opening, too, for anyone that was like, what was that Beanie Babies moment, too? My mom and I were really obsessed with Beanie Babies growing up. I asked her when we thought of this special, hey, can I have some Beanie Babies for the opening? She took these ones out because she really thinks what she's seen on eBay and everything else, that they're worth some money. Princess Diana we were talking about.
The platypus iconic.
Yes. Okay. Apparently some of them are going $15,000 online.
The turkey, really?
I know,
But
apparently.
the turkey's an icon. Yeah. the peace sign sort of tie-dye one, definitely.
And it's all about making sure, the tag is still pristine. So we were obsessed, but I think it was also like a bonding thing with my mom and I, because we were running around store to store. It was like a scavenger hunt. It was really, really fun.
Rating Hallmark locations.
And you did this with your daughter,
I did it with my kids, but I also let them play with them. I wasn't, that wasn't my obsession.
Kelly, if you tear the tag off, does that mean
it's done?
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Do you have tag protectors?
I'm not to that level, no.
It's not
but
the
fact
that they exist.
Exactly.
Yes.
But my mom did say, please be careful with them today, because you never know what was in the bin that I covered myself with today. Could be funding,
diamond in the rough.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
I want to talk to all of our personal obsessions. Randy, we're starting with you.
Okay.
We're obviously very on board with Taco Time. Yeah. You even have a podcast. Tell us about it.
Yes, I'm a co-host of Talkin' Taco Time, the foremost podcast about Taco Time Northwest. Tristan, Kevin, Chris, and I dive deep into our obsession on Taco Time. We cover menu updates. We cover, I was on a quest for a long time to visit all 79 Taco Time Northwest locations, which I did. Yeah. I was, they created this custom Eras Tour style merch for me when I completed it, which was only partially embarrassing. And
And it was called Tour de Taco Time?
That's a separate thing, Kelly.
That's your news?
Yes, my friend Colden and I did a bike ride to all 5 Taco Times. Ooh, you've got my stats here. It's a 29-mile bike ride
my
to all
Lord.
5
it up.
City of Seattle Taco Time Northwest locations. We ate an item along the way at each one. It was a lovely outing.
One item?
Just one item. It was like a progressive meal.
And these are your favorites, I know.
Yeah, and there's a cycling team that Taco Time sponsors, and they let us borrow their little jerseys. So we were biking around in Taco Time jerseys, and honestly, you find out who's obsessed,
Yeah.
right? Like, you're like, where did you get that biking
Your face
jersey
is
with
so
Taco
cute
Time?
when you do that.
Yeah,
You
so-
also are obsessed with traders now, which so many
my
people are
God.
obsessed.
Listen, run, do not walk to Peacock and stream the traders right now. The current season is giving everything.
Rob.
Rob, Lisa Rinna, Johnny and Tara Lipinski are having a real come up here.
Can the two obsessions come together? Do you eat Taco Time while you watch the Traitors?
That's yet to happen this season, but I will tell you, I binged all of the Australia and UK seasons in the past, and there was definitely Taco Time involved.
I want to get to your obsession too, Ton. Sneakers, right? Tell me more.
I do. I knew I had an obsession when people ask how many I own, and I always say 199. Because 200 sounds insane. It's crazy.
200?
It really
I would
is?
say it's been around 250, closer.
Oh my gosh.
But in all fairness, viewers out there, if you ever purchase or picked up a size 9 Air Jordan at Goodwill in Dearborn, you're welcome. That's all I gotta say. I've donated at least 50.
And
Nice.
you wear them though, which I love, because when people are obsessed with cars and stuff, sometimes they just don't drive it. They leave it pristine in their garage.
Because it's
But I
like
love that you're
artwork. It's like a
wearing.
car, apparently. Because as soon as you take it out of the box and you wear them, they lose their value. But I'm not a collector. I actually wear them. And it's what's funny is like if you look at my shoes right now.
These right now.
At
Who are you wearing today?
Oh, this is Air Jordan because it's Lunar New Year. This is Air Jordan, the Lunar New Year edition. 2018, and I actually wore this years ago, and then a dad who works at Amazon stopped me and started asking questions like, what size is that? Because he wanted to offer me $1,000. Because in 2018, they were hard to get. It's easy yet now. But then he talked to his kid, and this is when I learned, well, because I'm wearing it, and I don't have the box anymore, he's not interested. Isn't that crazy?
That's
That
wild.
is so
Yeah.
wild.
So this is fine, but because I'm wearing it and I don't have it in a box, I don't get $1,000, I don't get anything.
Do you remember the pair that maybe started in your mind the obsession?
I don't. I think it was Air Jordans number 3. I'm awful with these names. And the reason why people liked them, why I liked them, because they were Carolina blue, because that's where.
And you still have those?
Jordan. I still have them somewhere. It's either at my old house in Maryland or the
love
house
that.
in San Jose.
You're not
Could
too
be in the
crazy
Beanie
with
Baby
it.
bin.
Maybe.
Beanie Baby bin.
See, this is why. The reason I say 199 is I feel like when you say 200, it sounds crazy. And I feel like it's like one of those realtors who's trying to say $1 million home, but it's like $999,099. And somehow
It does sound better. It tricks your
Right?
mind for sure.
I feel like it's a low number.
I'm rounding up to almost 300 in my head.
Susie, we didn't get to your obsession. It's here on the table.
Yes.
Tell everyone what it is.
So this is Diet Coke from McDonald's.
It has to be from McDonald's.
Yeah, what gives?
Thank you for asking.
Here come the glasses. Statement.
They've released a statement about why their Diet Coke and Coke is so good. A couple reasons. The water and syrup are pre-chilled before entering the fountain dispensers, and the ratio of syrup is set to allow for the ice to melt. That's so key. And the fountain beverage system is cold, so your drink is refreshing, and they always filter the water.
Wow.
End
Bravo.
quote.
So it's
I
like
mean-
a wine somme. You need to break this down.
It is, and I don't drink
Terroir,
wine.
the McDonald's terroir.
This is my wine.
This is
Or
yours.
Mother's Milk, or Nectar of the Gods.
And so, I mean, obviously, someone
And then-
saying Pepsi, you would just be appalled. It's not even close to the
no,
same thing.
I mean, I wouldn't even.
yeah, you can't even answer that
Water.
question.
Unfiltered water.
Does Coke Zero make you like
gross.
disgusted?
I don't like that either. Yeah,
Yes, because that just
something
takes
about
out
this.
the sugar from regular Coke.
But not Coca-Cola. It has to be Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, I'm addicted to the aspartame.
100%.
And McDonald's, it's just, I don't know, I'm a nerd. I mean, it's a complete nerd
Have you
about
had
alcohol.
RC Cola? diet.
No.
Now I'm dating myself. No one knows RC Cote. Kelly's like, what?
I didn't know what you were talking about, I'm going to be honest on.
It's just
Diet tab.
But we can move to my obsession now.
Horses.
Well, we're
and-
going to go horses first. Horses are my number one obsession, which you saw earlier in the show with those mini horses. I have, horse galore in my childhood bedroom. It's pink.
Look
There
at
you're
this.
seeing it. I made my
Oh my
parents say,
God.
This is still there, right?
still there.
The helmet
That's-
is just positioned
It
like
honestly
perfectly.
always is. It's
Yeah.
there because I don't really ride anymore, but I would love to. Pink, still my favorite color, and then pictures of jazz throughout.
You should clip that and make that like your Zoom background. Like it's just kind of nice.
Yeah. People would be like, do you still live with your parents? Is everything okay? Yes, I do.
Yes, you
Thank
do.
you. I'm also obsessed with salads, evergreens. I go here every single week, many times a week. Their Cobb Your Enthusiasm is my favorite. Avocado, bacon, egg,
Wow.
pickled onion, cheese. I actually usually change the dressing to be healthier. The Greek yogurt dressing.
Okay, there's bacon, so I don't think this is that much healthier than
You
a
don't?
BLT.
It doesn't matter.
Ton is not having
Yeah,
this.
you're not having my obsession. It's so good. I'm all about volume eating, so just sitting there with a big bowl of
Yeah.
something is so delicious. They also brought some other winter trio options. Evergreens is just doing it right. It's fresh. It's always a great experience. I have so many changes to my salad. They know my name when I come up. I just love them.
Food obsessions are so interesting because
Yeah.
you really hyper focus on something. Obviously, I know. I hyper focus
know.
on this.
Croutons are delicious.
Okay.
There you go,
Croutons
Tom.
is bacon for vegetarians. This is great. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Keep
I don't know if this
eating.
is a prop, but I'm going to just
I
eat
want to
it.
get to some famous names too who also were obsessed with some pretty odd things. So let's get into it. Thomas Jefferson, third U.S. president, he apparently was obsessed with mammoths. Here's a
Yep.
quote. For most of his life, Thomas Jefferson was obsessed with mammoths. He liked theorizing about mammoths. He liked talking about mammoths. He liked making his friends rack up exorbitant postage bills in order to mail him mammoth teeth.
That is a quote.
When he sent Lewis and Clark on their expedition, he was hoping they would find a living mammoth.
Stop.
I did some research before
I was
the show today.
like, Randy, are you
Yeah.
obsessed with Thomas Jefferson?
And
Tell me
clearly,
more.
if he was alive today, his favorite NHL team would be the Utah Mammoth.
There you go.
I thought it was so interesting. They also said that he would bring in mammoth bones and teeth into the White House.
And like a jigsaw puzzle, try to put it together. Like right now, you have all these tech billionaires and hedge fund
Yeah.
managers who buy entire T-Rex
True.
skeleton.
Oh, that's true.
He did it himself.
Yeah.
He was
not
about his
successful,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, before his
Very
time.
He wasn't
eccentric.
successful, but
Which is maybe what obsessions are for rich people, just eccentricities, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. We're getting next to the next topic.
luck.
I can't even talk about it. Good luck. Gandhi. Part of me wishes I really didn't know this, but evidently he was quite obsessed with poop and making
Yeah.
sure others were feeling healthy. Maybe it was a little more of that, like, have you pooped today?
Yeah, he would ask everybody if they've had a bowel movement today, which actually gave me PTSD, brought me right back to my grandmother who used to ask me that very
She
same-
did?
Yeah, I think it was I don't know.
Like prune
Anyway.
juice? Was she like, do you
Yeah.
need prune juice
Suzanne,
then or
how? And I was
something?
like, Grandma.
oh god, this is totally a talk about this.
Yes.
Have you guys heard of the Bristol poop chart? I thought this was a joke, and I went to a party. There is a chart called the Bristol poop chart. It tells you what kind of pooper you are. It tells
went
you
to
the
a party
size
and you saw
visual.
this at a party?
Yes, I thought it was a gag, and I Googled. This is a legitimate scientific thing. So when you tell me about Gandhi is a poop obsession, I can't get this out of my head. What kind of pooper is he on this chart?
On the chart. Yeah.
I
I
bet he
know.
would have loved
Is
that
this
chart.
PG rated? I'm sorry.
We've got to know.
My
I know it's too
God.
early to do this, but yes, I kid you not.
Yeah.
Bristol poop chart. If you want to know what kind of pooper you are, look up your chart.
Gandhi
It's like
would
a
be
horoscope.
So proud of you.
Does this tell you about your personality? I guess it tells you what you eat and what it's like. If it's the size of your poop, the water. Oh, sorry. I'll
Did
stop.
you think
I'll
we'd
stop.
spend this much time
No,
talking about
and with that, I'm moving to our last question, you guys. Can obsessions be a personality trait? And if it is a personality trait, positives, negatives?
I think it's positive. It's one of those things where it's like it's almost like your brand, right? It's what you're
Yeah.
known for. People know, like, right? People know you're into sneakers, right? From
Food,
knowing your food,
all of it.
right? So it's like, I think it's a positive thing. It's what you're known for. And right, yes, if you go too deep
can go too
into
far,
it,
right?
if it's affecting relationships and your like, if I wasn't showing up to my job because all I was doing was going to Taco Time every day, I think my husband would be like, "What are we doing here?"
Or you were forcing your friends to only eat at Taco Time.
Yes, no, we were talking about restaurants
right?
before this, and it's like, no, we eat all kinds of things.
Yeah.
You wear different shoes, right? Than just
Yes,
sneakers.
not just one pair, but 199.
199 or 250.
Yeah.
Who's to say how many
Counting.
John has?
Good grief, Kelly.
Good grief, exactly.
No judgment.
Do you think once you start with something like I'm obsessed with salads, like I'm gonna be obsessed with the next thing, like we're just like
you
kind
move
of
on.
yeah,
As somebody who's obsessed moves on to another obsession.
right.
I think, yeah.
You think,
I
yeah?
do.
We
Okay,
just have
obsessed
that
once.
personality.
Yeah.
Maybe you're destined to be obsessed again.
At that point, I think it's a cry for help. I stop with
So
Air
2
Jordans.
sessions.
I stop with Air Jordans. Oh, 2, I can see that. But I think it has such a negative connotation. But I think it's good. In the world we live in, it's good to have a distraction. I look at obsession as sort of like a hobby. You know?
Yes.
It's like I get up in a bad mood, I put on my favorite Air Jordans or something, and it just distracts me from the reality. Just for a brief moment.
Oh, that's amazing.
that.
Let's
That's a
end
good
there,
place,
you
yeah.
guys. What an hour. I don't think I'll say the words I'm obsessed without thinking back on all we've learned and the cool people we've met today. And I say finding something to be obsessed with is not a bad thing, like we just discussed. In fact, I love this quote from Mason Cooley. The cure for an obsession, get another one. Done and done. Thanks for spending time with us today. And for more New Day fun, subscribe on YouTube and be sure to download King 5 Plus for free. Don't forget to enjoy your new day, and we'll see you next time.